action! Guys, watch out!
In a small town, buried under snow, a mysterious accident near the old mill changes everything, claiming the life of a woman named Elizabeth. After she dies, her whole family falls apart. Her husband works at a vaccine factory, and their 11-year-old son, who was super close to his mom, feels totally empty inside. He feels her absence every single moment. So in this town, there's this guy, Louis, and he's always getting into trouble because he drinks too much. He's also, apparently, part of the reason Elizabeth's case is dragging on. Joe's dad, Jackson, is super mad about it and kicks Louis out of his house. Later, summer vacation starts. Joe and his friends decide to make a little movie. Charles, who's in charge, wants it to look really professional, so he calls this girl named Alice. Joe gets all excited when he hears her name, because he totally has a crush on her. But here's the thing, Alice is Louis's daughter, the one Jackson just kicked out. Even with all that, the kids decide to start filming together. For a special scene in the film, they have to go late at night to an old railway station on the outskirts of town. All the children get into a car and reach the location. The atmosphere is a little scary. Strong winds are blowing, but Joe and his friends are very excited. Preparations for the shoot are underway when a train is seen approaching from a distance. And just then, a truck suddenly appears on the railway track, deliberately moving into the path of the train. The man driving the truck shouts loudly, but in the very next moment, the train collides with it. The train derails terribly. Containers start flying through the air, and fire, smoke, and debris spread everywhere. The children run in different directions out of fear, but the camera keeps running, and the entire accident gets recorded. The whole scene is so horrifying that, for a while, no one can understand what just happened. As the kids start to feel a bit better, they notice huge train parts have landed right near their hiding spot. Just then, Joe walks over to one of the containers, and he hears these really weird, scary noises coming from inside. Suddenly, the container door starts shaking like crazy, like something's trying to bust out. Joe's about to back away, totally freaked out, when his friends call him over and distract him. Nearby, they spot this super weird, white tube-like thing that just doesn't look right. So all the kids head towards the truck that hit the train. When they get closer, they see their biology teacher inside, looking pretty bad. He's got this weird map in his hand. That's when the kids realize this wasn't an accident, it was on purpose. Joe's about to grab the map, but the guy suddenly wakes up and points a gun at them. He yells at them to get out of there, saying, if the people above find out, not just them, but their whole families will be killed. Just then, police cars show up in the distance. Scared, all the kids run. Charles grabs his camera, Joe takes one of the white tubes, and they all jump into Alice's car and drive off. The next day, news channels are all over the train accident. They're saying the biology teacher's in police custody, but he's not talking. Then, out of nowhere, the local police are pulled from the site, and the Air Force swoops in and takes over everything. They start collecting all the evidence. It feels like they're hiding the truth from the town. Around the same time, we see an Air Force colonel take the teacher right out of police custody and bring him to their camp. So Charles and Joe go to get the camera lens fixed, but it'll take a day or two. Joe decides to use his dad's old video camera to finish the film, and somehow convinces him, even though he initially says no. Meanwhile, after the accident, weird stuff starts happening in town. One night, Jackson's boss goes near the railway station, and suddenly, there's this terrifying movement around his car. He freaks out, and then, poof, he's gone. Slowly, more people in town start disappearing. Electronics vanish from some places, machine parts from others. The officers try to tell everyone not to worry, that everything's under control. But this old guy says he's hearing a strange military frequency on his radio. He tunes in and learns about Operation Walking Distance. He's furious and goes to confront the colonel. Meanwhile, military people are quietly searching homes in town. And get this, Charles also needs background shots for his film, so the kids are shooting in that area. Jackson shows up, sees everything, and gets mad. He tells the kids to quietly get in the car. Afterward, he meets the colonel privately and asks why people are disappearing and what this operation is. The colonel blows him off, saying he can't share much. Jackson goes home angry and first yells at Joe. Then he warns him that if he doesn't get his act together, he's going to boarding school. He says this and leaves the house. But as soon as he gets to the Air Force Base camp, he's arrested. Joe finds out and gets really sad, then quietly sneaks out of the house at night. Around the same time, scary sounds start coming from outside town, and he runs away scared. After a bit, Joe comes home and sits there feeling sad. Just then, Alice comes over and they start talking. They begin to like each other. But right then, weird movements start near the house. On the other side of the wall, they see something moving near a big water tank. A little while later, Alice leaves, and at that very moment, Louis arrives, drunk, and starts yelling at her. Alice, mad about getting yelled at, storms out of the house. Joe goes after her to stop her. They're in the middle of a fight when this weird creature shows up and snatches Alice. She's gone in a flash. Joe's screaming and crying, but he has no idea what's happening. Then, Air Force guys show up and take him away. Meanwhile, we see the military has torched the whole forest, burning everything down. The kids still don't get what's really going on. The next day, they find out the truth about what happened the night before. When Joe and his friends watch the recording on their fixed camera, they realize the strange sounds during the train accident weren't from a machine. A massive, scary creature had just busted out of that train. Right about then, loud sirens start blaring all over town. The military, as part of their plan, starts evacuating everyone, gathering them all at the town hall. They set up shelter and food there. Joe is at the town hall, trying to find his dad, Jackson. But instead, he bumps into this guy who is in really bad shape, crying and screaming for someone to save his daughter. He says a giant monster took her. Hearing that, Joe and his friends realize they have to do something themselves. First, they want to figure out how all this started and where that thing came from. Then they remember some mysterious stuff was kept in the doctor's old storage room behind the school. The kids sneak off to that storage room where they find old documents, files, and some videos. As they go through them, the story reveals an old truth. Many years ago, back in the 50s, a strange object fell from the sky. It wasn't an attack, but an alien spaceship that the Air Force had captured. So this alien was locked up and experimented on, and the doctor was in on it. He knew the creature was harmless and just wanted to go home, but the military wouldn't listen. They kept doing all sorts of tests, which made the alien hate humans. It had these little white cubes that gave it power, but it couldn't get to them because it was imprisoned. The doctor knew all this, but couldn't do anything, so he quit. He was just waiting for the right time to free the alien. When he found out they were moving it, he planned the train accident so it could escape. That's also why he scared the kids away, because if this secret got out, the military could kill anyone. The kids now realize they're super close to a huge truth. Then, some soldiers show up at the school and grab the kids. The kids are super scared, thinking their lives might be in danger now. But just then, the huge alien shows up and trashes the bus, destroying everything. The military tries everything to kill the creature, but bullets and weapons don't do squat. Chaos erupts, but the kids, hiding as they go, somehow manage to get out of there and run towards town. The alien finally kills a bunch of soldiers and the path clears. The kids escape from the soldiers and make it to the town hall. When they get to the town hall, Joe can't find his dad, Jackson, there. He freaks out and looks around. On the way, Louis apologizes to Jackson about Elizabeth's accident, and Jackson, being a good guy, forgives him. They both realize this isn't the time to hold on to old grudges. In town, things have gotten really bad. Big tanks and weapons have been brought in to kill the alien. But because it's there, machines start breaking down in weird ways. Instead of shooting at the alien, soldiers are accidentally shooting at houses and buildings. It's total chaos. During all this, Charles stays behind, and Joe remembers he's seen the alien somewhere before. He remembers the place was an old garage near the school. Joe and Carrie both go to that garage. Going inside, they find a really big underground tunnel that goes all the way to the water tank. Even though it's dangerous, they still go down. Once inside, they see all the missing electronic stuff from town collected there. The alien is trying to fix itself with those items. The people who disappeared from town are also trapped there, and the alien was using them as food. Seeing all this, they get scared, but they don't give up. They come up with a plan. Carrie goes to the other side and starts making a lot of noise to distract the alien. Joe uses that chance to free Alice from the other side. They also find another girl and a person there who went missing earlier. But then, the alien comes back and kills both of them. Now things are super dangerous. It looks like no one's going to make it out alive. So the alien grabs Joe, but then something weird happens between them. Without saying a word, the alien makes Joe feel safe. It tells him that even though humans treated it badly, it just wants to go home now. It found a human here who isn't trying to use it, so it doesn't hurt Joe and lets him go. After that, all three kids leave the tunnel and head to town. Meanwhile in town, things are even crazier. Military machines are out of control, stuff is flying everywhere, and everything's getting sucked towards the water tank. Just then, Joe's dad shows up too. Joe sees his mom's locket flying around. He tries to grab it, but then he realizes he needs to move on from his past, so he lets the locket go. Suddenly, a huge vortex forms with the white cubes. All the nearby machines, cars, and stuff get pulled in and turned into a huge structure. While all this is happening, the alien uses all its strength to build its spaceship, then finally takes off and leaves. The town slowly calms down. The danger's gone, and everyone breathes a sigh of relief. And that's where this story ends. Hope you enjoyed the ride. See you in the next movie ride.